Every question will have two parts. Buzz in when you think you know the correct answer, but only answer half of the question because your partner must answer the other half. Every question will be worth 10 points. You ready? Good luck. According to Sigmund Freud, the personality is made up of three parts. Name two. Anne-Marie?
Ego.
Which is one. And do you know another? Victor?
The id.
Which is correct. And you got the first 10 points of the game. And, of course, the other was the superego. Two abolitionist Harriets. One wrote an anti-slavery novel. The other was a conductor on the Underground Railroad. Name them. Jim.
Tubman.
Which is correct for the Underground Railroad conductor. The other, Helen.
Beecher Stowe.
Which is also correct. And now you tied the game up at 10 apiece. Name two of the three animals who do it in the first verse of Cole Porter's Let's Do It, Let's Fall in Love. Jim.
Birds.
Which is correct. And another one, Helen.
Bees.
Which is also correct. And even educated fleas.
You're good on that.
You didn't have to applaud for my singing. That was all right. Linus Pauling was the only person to win two unshared Nobel Prizes. In what two categories did he win them? Helen.
Peace.
Which is one. The other, Jim?
Chemistry.
Which is also correct. And you now lead 30 to 10. In England, they're known as the boot and the bonnet. What are these car parts called in America? Jim.
The trunk.
Which is right for the boot. And Helen?
The hood.
Which is right for the bonnet. You increase your lead to 40 to 10. To protest federal policies, Native American activists seized the site of an island prison in 1969. Name the prison and the bay in which it's located. Victor?
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz is the prison, and the bay, Anne-Marie?
San Francisco Bay.
Is also correct, and now it's 40 to 20. You're on the comeback trail. Most homes in one national capital are heated by underground hot water springs. Name the capital and its country. Victor?
I'll just say Little Rock.
Incorrect. So now Helen and Jim, if you can give me one of the two answers I'm looking for, you'll get the 10 points.
It's Iceland.
Iceland is the country. And Reykjavik was the capital, and you get the points and now leads 50 to 20. Although a 16th century artist designed the helicopter, it was a 20th century engineer who built the first practical one. Name the two men. Helen.
Sikorsky.
Which is correct for the engineer, and the artist, Jim.
Da Vinci.
Which is also correct. And now you lead by a score of 60 to 20. The names Sodom and Gomorrah conjure up images of the naughtiest stuff. According to the Bible, what two elements did God send to destroy the cities of sin? Victor.
Fire.
Which is correct. And Anne-Marie?
Wind.
Incorrect. Again, Helen and Jim can get the points if you know the correct answer here.
Brimstone.
Brimstone is correct.
Very good.
The wind came along later to clean up the mess. All right. In 1988, a U.S. grand jury indicted a former president of the Philippines and his wife. Name them. Anne-Marie?
Marcos.
Need more?
Imelda.
Which is correct. Imelda Marcos was the president's wife. And Victor?
Ferdinand Marcos.
Which is correct. That was the president. You close the gap to 70 to 30. They were on and off lovers for more than 50 years. She wrote The Second Sex. He wrote Being and Nothingness. Who were they? Anne-Marie?
Gloria Steinem.
Incorrect. So again, Helen and Jim, one of the two answers I'm looking for will get you the points.
Nietzsche. Go ahead. Nietzsche.
Sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was Simone de Beauvoir and Jean-Paul Sartre. Of course, one of the great couples of our time. All right. Thomas Edison said genius is made up of 1% of one thing and 99% of another. Name those qualities. Jim.
Perspiration.
Perspiration, which is 99%. And Helen?
Inspiration.
Inspiration, which is 1%. And you get the point. You now lead 80 to 30. Both are named Boris. One is the title czar of a Mussorgsky opera. The other is Rocky and Bullwinkle's black-hatted nemesis. Name them. Helen.
Good enough.
Which is correct. And the other, Jim?
Bad enough.
Which is also correct. All right. By the sound of the anemic bell, we have reached the end of round one. Jim and Helen have 90 points. Victor and Anne-Marie have 30. And I think we have the makings of a good game happening here because you guys are about to make a comeback. I can feel it in my bones. Well, let's take a moment to meet tonight's contestants, beginning with Anne-Marie, who is from Rochester, New York. Now, Anne-Marie, I understand that you have spent 19 of the last 24 years in school. Yet, you believe that animals are smarter than you. Now, why would you think that?
I go camping, and so I think, I put my food away correctly, and I even tie up my dinner scraps between two trees. But raccoons just always get into my cooler, and I can't chase them away. So.
Oh, you know what? You're using child-proof containers instead of raccoon-proof
That's right.
containers. That's what's doing you in. But we're glad to have you here tonight.
Thank you very
Hope you have a good time. And let's meet your partner, Victor, who is from Derry, New Hampshire. And this is not your first time on television, is it, Victor?
No, it isn't.
Because when did you make your television debut?
I was about 6, 7 years old. I used to sing on a cowboy show. They showed a movie, and during a break, somebody would sing Home on the Range or whatever. And my stepfather he was a sponsor of the show. It was a hot dog factory.
Oh, so in other words, you were singing due to nepotism.
That's true.
Oh, okay. Well, we're glad to have you here tonight. Good luck to both of you. And let's meet your opponents this evening, beginning with Helen. Now, Helen, I understand that in high school, you used to play on your varsity basketball team.
4 years.
Now, you must have been a great player, great shooter, great rebounder, dribbler. That's why you were on the team, right?
No, it was because there were only 13 girls to choose from.
Oh, they didn't have a choice.
And I was a guard, so nobody ever made any baskets when I was there, though.
Oh, okay. Well, you look like a point guard to me, and I hope you have a good time tonight.
Thanks.
Oh, I love shaking your hand. All right, and let's meet your partner, Jim, from Lorain, Ohio, who is a physics teacher.
Yes.
And in fact, you have a unique way, and I hate to keep using the word unique, but in this case it does apply. You have a unique way of teaching your students about physics. And what do you do?
I like to make it as exciting as possible, so when we talk about pressure, I lie on a bed of nails, I walk across broken glass, and have a cinder block broken on my chest, and to emphasize Newton's laws.
Do you have a secret desire to be in the circus, Jim? Is that why you... No, but that is a great way to teach physics to your students. All right, and we're very happy to have all of you here tonight. Hope you all have a wonderful time. And we have some wonderful prizes to give away to our winners tonight. Chris, the man with the golden voice, what do we have for our winners this evening?
Ontario, our winners will receive a mini audio system from Kenwood with a 7-disc CD changer, dual cassette deck, and FM/AM tuner. And a $500 gift certificate from Borders, where you can choose from over 150,000 books and music titles.
Very nice, very nice. All right. Now, players, I hope that you're feeling in a very creative mood this evening because it is time for us to enter the land of imagination.
The clues and the information, so use your imagination. Think wide.
We got into the little bit. All right, there you go. All right, now in the imagination round, we're going to challenge your creative ability to come up with a story on the spot. Now, Anne-Marie and Victor, because you're behind, we're going to begin with you. Before you is a list of 9 clues that all relate to a specific subject, either a person, place, or thing. Now, prior to the show, you each had 1 minute to review these clues. Now, what I want you to do now is to create a story, completely improvised, but you have to use at least 6 of the clues. Helen and Jim, your job will be to listen out for the hidden words in their story, which are all clues to their subject. Now, as they use the clues, they'll be revealed on our video wall. But we're going to turn it away from you so you can't see, so you have to listen very carefully. Now, if you can figure out what their subject really was when they finish, you get 50 points. But if not, the points go to your opponents. Now, you'll each have 30 seconds to tell your half of the story. Who's going to go first?
I shall.
Anne-Marie?
Yes.
All right, so you have 30 seconds.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I sure am.
Go.
I was in New York City, and I had to go to a magazine stand because I had to buy a newspaper, the Wall Street Journal, because I was invited to a party with a bunch of stockbrokers, and I know nothing about the financing and financial stuff. So I walked into this party, and it was full, and I expected it to be empty because it was the first quarter of the fiscal year, and so many people were there that there was absolutely, but it was dead because it was the first quarter, and everybody was just, dead, and there was absolutely no atmosphere, and so I had to spark the conversation with my knowledge of finance, and with that...
Time. Switch.
Well, after she went there, I was sitting at home waiting for a phone call. My buddy calls up. He says, come on over. I says, I can't. I'm busy right now. I'm waxing my legs. He says, but I got a big problem, he says. He says, my water's all green. I says, geez, I'll be right there. I'll be there in a minute. So I shot over to his house. He lives out on Crescent Street Boulevard. We went down the cellar. We banged on his pipes. We banged on the motors. We kept trying to get the water to change color, but it wouldn't. No matter what we did, his water just stayed a stupid color, you know?
Time.